Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and like always, thank you so much for your support. So today is the day. Today is the 3.18 league start, and if you are like me, extremely indecisive, this is the video for you. So in this video, we're going to cover 4 builds that are well-rounded for the league ahead. Now, full disclosure, I'm not really that interested in the league mechanic. What I am really interested in and looking forward to is the new Uber bosses in the endgame. So to that effect, these are going to be 4 builds that are tanky, have good or decent bossing damage, and have really good map clear. So without further ado guys, let's get into these 4 builds, and let me know what you think in the comments down below at the end of the video, and let me know what build you are going to be playing. So the first build we're going to cover is Explosive Arrow Champion. This is not an understatement. This is probably the strongest league start I have ever played. If you watch my Explosive Arrow series for 3.17, you can see how powerful this build is. And here's a little secret. There are no balance changes for 3.18, so this build is still just as strong as it was last league. I did most of the endgame last league with this build and had so much fun that I can put my stamp of approval on it and feel confident about that. I played with a witch last league, but if I were to play it again this league, I would play it as a champion. Just for extra survivability in the endgame. And if I recall correctly, my character got upwards of 15 to 20 million DPS last league, so damage is never an issue with this build. Next, and probably one of the more popular builds for this upcoming league, is Pox's RF Inquisitor. I've only played RF once before and recall it being a lot of fun and very tanky. It's been a while since I played something that was extremely tanky, where dying isn't something you really have to worry about. And since what I want to try to do this league is push endgame and focus on bossing, RF Inquisitor seems like a no-brainer. There is no way that I can explain the ins and outs of this build better than Pox, so his video and pastebin information will be linked down below, along with all the other pastebins for all the other builds that we covered. What I can say is that the clear speed of this build is great, the survivability is amazing, and the build is amazing to learn boss mechanics and just new boss fights in general. Keep in mind that we switch to RF at level 55, so you'll have to level with Wintertide Brand. However, Wintertide Brand makes the leveling experience a breeze, so it's not a big deal. Next is Big Dux's Seismic Trap build. If your goal is to get ahead of the pack this league and get a lot of currency early on for some other build that you might be interested in, then this is probably the build for you. The clear speed on this character is probably S+ tier, and the bossing damage is also very good. It's less tanky than the Explosive Arrow Champion, and also less tanky than the RF Inquisitor, but you make up for the lack in tankiness by having some very impressive damage. The tried and true saying of the best defense is a good offense definitely stands true here. The build is reliant on cold iron points that might be expensive the first few days of the league, but generally drop in price after 2 or 3 days of the league being open. Now, the video and pastebin information will be linked down below if this is a build that you are interested in checking out. Lastly, and what will probably be the most OP build of the league, Detonate Dead. This build is S tier across the board. It's probably one of the best bossing damage builds on this list, and it's also extremely tanky. The clear speed is also very good. This build also received a buff in 3.18, believe it or not. One of the new Atlas passive skills increases monster life by 50% and decreases damage they deal by 25%. Since this increase in life scales our damage because of the desecrate things that we are essentially detonating dead on, this is basically just a 25% less damage taken buff to our character. So with all that being said, why am I not playing this build if it is so strong? Well, I want a bit of a lazy playstyle for 3.18, and unfortunately this build is a 2-button playstyle. If you are okay with pressing Desecrate Dead and then Detonate Dead, then this should be just fine for you, and it's probably the best option on this list. Well, that kind of wraps it up for this video. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments and what you think the best build for this league will be. If you want to follow my character progression in 3.18, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can follow my character when I finally decide what I'm going to be playing for this league. And like always, guys, thank you so much for watching till the end. You guys are absolutely awesome, and I hope you have a lot of fun this league.